Hey guys, your local obsessive fangirl here. Has anybody else noticed recently that it's just insanely hard to be a fangirl lately? I have, so let's talk about it. Now, there seems to be two issues with fangirl culture right now, both as a society, just as a cultural thing, and as a monetary thing, as a money thing, of course, because everything revolves around money, don't you know? And in this video, we are going to dive into both of those issues, hopefully, and maybe shed some light on an issue that I see becoming increasingly worse. So let's start off with the culture problem. See, I have always had an obsessive personality, and this only got worse when I had internet access, because I was a teenager during the early 2000s and 10s, and I like to think of this as the prime time to be a fangirl, because Tumblr was booming back here, y'all. This is the time when everyone's username was like 21 Dan and Phil's Panicking at the Disco, because that was a thing back then, and we were all cringe, but we were free. Back then, being online in a fandom was such a welcoming space, and everyone was accepted and able to be weird until their little nerdy hearts were content. And growing up in a small town where a lot of people here did not match my interests, it was a really welcoming place for a little young teenager to be. And online spaces were thriving until COVID. Now, COVID ruined a lot of things, but it certainly ruined the fangirl culture because we had a lot of normies coming in and ruining everything, as they do, per usual. See, during the quarantine, we had a lot of people online, as you do, because there was nothing else to do, and they accidentally stumbled across fandom culture and invaded these spaces, and now they refuse to leave and are now implementing their own rules onto nerdy culture. Now, a big side effect of non-nerdy people invading nerdy spaces is calling everything cringe. I mean, hell, there's so many content creators now whose main content is just making fun of other people. These people were in shambles over the Eddie Munson stans, but let me just tell you, the Eddie Munson stans seem like angels in comparison to the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fandom back in its day. You think cosplaying is weird? You have no idea. But suddenly post-2020, we have a lot of people in fandom spaces expecting people to not act like they're in a fandom. I think this is just the result of people not knowing how fandoms work, because there's actual footage of people filming cosplayers at a convention and they have the gall to call them weird. Yeah. That's what you do at a convention. You act weird. This is how it's been working for years until you showed up. And it's so disheartening to see this, knowing that fandoms and being online is often a way to escape and just feel better about your daily life and to feel like you're not alone in being nerdy. And suddenly you're getting bullied and mocked for it in a place where you're literally supposed to be nerdy. Normies, man. We can't have anything. With the influx of normies invading fandoms, I've seen two reactions to this. One, people just avoiding fandom spaces altogether. Or two, they disguise everything as a joke. This reminds me a lot of when people started joining TikTok back in the day and everyone's bio was like, I downloaded this as a joke. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You want to lip sync to silly little videos and just say that. Now, as a result, a lot of things in fandom spaces just feels disingenuine because everyone is afraid to be genuine and fear that they will be called cringe. And again, it's just disheartening to see a lot of people get turned away from something that was supposed to be a good thing and has been a good thing to a lot of people. Now, the irony of people trying to make everything a joke is that now fandoms cannot take a joke, like, at all. I think this goes into people not knowing how fandoms work, but nobody knows how to take a joke anymore. For example, I see so many people nowadays get mad at Joshler jokes. Listen, this picture here is the funniest thing that I've seen in years. Tyler and Josh have also made jokes about this. It's not as deep as y'all making it, but for some reason we're having daily fights about it on Twitter. Every day somebody is mad on Twitter, and every day I have to hear about it. Between the bullying and the unnecessary drama that seems to be present in every fan base ever at the moment, I don't blame a lot of people that want to avoid it all completely. And there are a bunch of people like that admit they're fans of something but don't want to be in the fan base because it's just awful to be there. I mean, what started out as a fun little silly playground is now a hellscape for a lot of people. I would leave myself if my mortal soul wasn't bound to two boys from Ohio. All in all, after 2020, it seems like fan bases have become corrupted. And that's not to say that they were not problematic in some ways before 2020, but it's just gotten worse across the board after this. Now, before we move on to the second part of this video that deals with the actual money part of this whole problem, I want to leave the video with this. As a teenager, I thought me being a fangirl and being passionate about a band that I liked was something that I should be ashamed of, that it wasn't normal, that there was something wrong with me for it. Granted, that never stopped me, but I did think I was an outsider because of it. Looking back as an adult, I just think how lucky I am to have something in my life that made me feel that way. In a world that now seems like everything is bleak and horrible, it's really nice to have something so simple make someone feel so genuinely happy. So if you're like me and you're passionate about a nerdy thing, or you're passionate about a musician, don't feel bad for it. Don't ever let someone shame you into thinking that you're wrong for that. If anything, you are lucky because you have something special that makes you happy. And you would be surprised how a lot of people in the world don't have something like that. For example, the people that are bullying you for being passionate about something are miserable, and they want to make you feel just as miserable as they are. Miserable people on the internet trying to spread their misery? Oh no, no way, that can't be happening.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
The second part of this video, and a huge issue that's killing fangirl and just concert culture at this point, is money. Everything has become so expensive lately. I think we started noticing this problem around the Eras tour, and it's only gotten progressively worse at an alarming rate. There isn't any excuse for concert tickets to be the same price as somebody's rent, okay? Kurt Cobain would crash out at today's ticket prices.
First question is, what do you think of artists who do charge anywhere between $50 to $75 for tickets?
There are people who charges that much money.
And Pearl Jam tried to stop it back in the day, but it is far too late to stop the Ticketmaster train now. At the rate things are going, even nosebleeds are crazy expensive. The average person cannot afford this type of thing, and it's not just the ticket price that's the problem, it's everything that goes into going to a concert. You have hotels, you have to feed yourself, you have to pay for gas and other travel expenses. All of that can stack up pretty quick, and it's a price tag that the normal person just can't pay nowadays. And it especially sucks because the majority of people who want to go to concerts are young people, young adults and teenagers who just cannot make that money, not in this economy. But it's not just the concerts that are expensive, it's the merchandise too. The merchandise at the actual concert, but also the merchandise that they're selling on the websites. And this sucks because it seems like we have put such a weird importance on merchandise and concerts and money. I think it's just the amount of people that want to flex about how many concerts they've went to or how much merch they have of somebody. And listen, I'm not saying that you can't do that. I mean, it is fun to share your experiences, but it gets to the point. Like, if you're posting that you went and saw Taylor Swift like over 30 times, it gets to a point. But I think this constant posting on social media has given people the wrong impression of what it means to be a fan, because now it seems like you're only a true fan if you go to a bunch of concerts and have a lot of merch. It always makes me really, really sad when I post about a concert or I post about a t-shirt that I have or something like that, and somebody comments like, I wish I was a big fan like you, I don't have any of that, or I haven't went to a concert. Listen, it's super fun to go to concerts and buy merch, but that has no real value as to what it means to be a fan, okay? It doesn't matter if you haven't bought one piece of merchandise and you have never seen your favorite in person, you are not any less of a fan, okay? There's just stupid people on the internet that want to flaunt that they have money, but it means nothing in the end. I know what you're gonna say, because I'm psychic. I took a paranormal psychology class one time, and the professor said that I show signs of being slightly psychic. I am slightly psychic. And I know you're gonna say, concerts aren't a luxury. Like, you don't need to go to concerts. It's not something you need to live. You don't have to go to a concert. And yeah, you're right. It is a luxury, but it is just super sad to see this become inaccessible for a lot of people, considering just how fun concerts can be. I have met so many wonderful people and have made so many wonderful memories because of concerts. There's nothing quite like experiencing fandom and fan bases in person. And it's just super sad to think that a lot of people won't get that chance because of money, something as stupid as money. And another excuse that a lot of people bring up is that just go see small artists, expand your music taste, stop liking the big ones that cost all this money. Let me just say, as a standalone statement that is going to go see local bands, just detached from everything that I've said previous, I think if you can and want to, absolutely go check out your local artists. I should make a video talking about how great small venue shows are. I probably like small shows better than the big ones. And of course, it's absolutely amazing to help the musicians in your area. But I don't think that we should be forced to see only small concerts. Why can't we have both? Why can't we see the big artists and the small artists?
Both is good.
Because it's not a crime to want to go see a pop star, okay? It's not a crime to like popular music, and it's not a crime to want to go see Sabrina Carpenter. And I don't think that we should settle and just see small concert shows if you really truly want to see someone bigger. I also don't think it's right to constantly shove these issues under the rug and just say, we'll just see small artists and, you know, just don't go to the concert. Because we're really avoiding the big problem here, and that is customer exploitation. You are being exploited. And the more that we ignore that, the worse that problem is going to be. Like, if Ticketmaster knows it can get away with literally screwing you over, it's going to continue to screw you over and get worse at that. Pretty soon we're not going to be able to see anybody. So I don't think that it's an issue that we should just ignore. I do think it is something that needs addressed eventually, or fangirls are going to die. I really hope that concert culture survives this, and if anyone has the resilience to survive something like this, it is fangirls. Or, you know, it won't get better and we're all doomed to just be miserable and exploited until the world ultimately ends, which, you know, should be soon. Either one, whatever. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like and subscribe to join the Groovy Graveyard, and I will see you in the next one.